Dark and bizarre, bizarre and dark, dark and bizarre. You ain't leaving with all you brought, hopeless and helpless, chained to a wall. The blade's getting closer, the open grave calls. Why, oh why did I read those words? My damnation's infernal. I thought Joe couldn't steal my soul, but horror springs eternal.
Hello, brave explorers. Yes, it's time for us once again, for the last time for quite a while, to talk about Strange New Worlds Season 3. Well, Strange New Worlds, period. Hey, let's get going.
Strange old trekkers with that Star Trek jive. Strange old trekkers, let's talk about it live. Strange old trekkers, Eric, Joe, and John. Strange old trekkers, settle in cause it's on. Oh, they're the strange old trekkers.
Oh my goodness, friends. What a long, strange... Well, you know what? I'm gonna save that. I'm not gonna go there. I don't want to give away any of the good things that are happening in tonight's episode. And we got a lot of good things for you. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I should probably start bringing in the staff here at SB80. It's not just me who keeps this place running. There is a first officer who is of the first degree, the first in your hearts. Folks, let me introduce first. It's Commander Joe Townsel. How are you, Joe Townsel?
Captain, I'm doing wonderfully. And of course, you and our CPO are first in my heart.
Well, I mean, that's just how it is, because we are a satellite of love up here. We're just people who support each other and love each other. Everything's always positive. Hey, from below decks, let's bring in our engineer, Wyatt, CPO Eric Kramer. Chief, how are you?
Hey, we did it, guys! We did it! We made it! Oh, 10 episodes! Oh my God! You know what? I feel like I feel like King in Platoon, and I just got my orders, and I'm going home. I'm making it. I swear we're gonna have to get out on time because that last chopper is out of here at 8, and I'm gonna be on it. By the way, staff? What the fuck? Staff?
Look, we have to follow certain protocols, and we do call it staff. We are a staff here in this big, hollow, empty SB80.
That's like the chain of command on the Enterprise. That's what that sounds like.
It's not wrong.
Staff. It's the Enterprise staff.
It's not wrong. All right, tonight we are talking about episode 10 of the 10-episode third season of Strange New Worlds. And this one is called, I keep getting it wrong, so Commander Joe, this one is called
New Life and New Civilizations.
All right. Let's get started on breaking it down. Let's talk. There is so little information to share about this episode. Why do I even go to Memory Alpha anymore? it's just pretty much like, a giant middle finger.
I mean, is Memory Alpha becoming forgetful? And what's going on, John?
Lack
some
of
kind
memory.
script in Memory Alpha?
Well, I could tell you this. It aired at midnight last night, or to be more precise, at 12:01 here on this beautiful day in September. It was written by Dana Horgan and Davey Perez. It was also directed by Maja Revilo. And that's pretty much all I can tell you. You don't know anything about this off the top of your head, do you, Mr. Townsel?
No, only that I realize, of course, that it's yet another episode that has a name that doesn't even fit the story at all.
I mean, unless they're we'll get
that would
into
mean you would have to figure out this convoluted story to begin with.
Oh, it is.
I mean,
To give it a title that actually works.
It makes it sound like it's like a series finale, which we'll get into it, of course, but it kind of plays like a series finale.
It really does. It really, really does.
We know it isn't, but it plays like it.
When they were shooting it,
Which I was grateful for. I will tell you that right now.
good point. Good point. That is a positive, and we are definitely going to end on a positive note because, there was a sense of them winding things up, tying things up, and putting us where personally I thought we should be at this point, undoing a couple of things that I hated up to this point. So
It reminded me a little bit of one of my other favorite TV shows, and you guys will laugh, and I totally embrace that. But Little House on the Prairie was supposed to be canceled after Murray went blind, but they kept going. So kind of the same thing here.
You know what? If they could have just regenerated some eyes.
Oh,
House.
come on.
They would have had 2 more seasons.
Well, Mary Ingalls, why can't she get new eyes? Poor thing.
I remember that episode, by the way.
Well,
Bring her another candle.
I love that we could talk about Grey's Anatomy. We could talk about Little House on the Prairie. Like, we are a very well viewed, I would say well read. Joe's well read. But we spread out there. We know our stuff here at good old Strange Old Trekkers. And fellas, let's get into it's gonna be a long time until I say that again. Every week we like to break down, as we recap and review, the plot points that are very relevant to our conversation. Again, this is a big spoiler warning. Not to be ruined for you. But our good friend Joe Townsel puts these together, and this is a great one too. Joe, I think you went out strong on this one.
I was trying to go with a bang for sure, so I appreciate it. We'll see if everyone agrees.
My editing chores this week, easy as they increasingly are. But boy, you gave me a lot to work with, and here we go. These are the beats for New Life and New Civilizations.
What a long, strange trek it's been. It's almost time for some savory southern victuals at the Trekker Barrel. But first, there's one more mission for Season 3 of Strange New Worlds. Get the chicken fried tard, tribbles and dumplings, and biscuits with plum meat gravy in the skillet and on that stove. The Strange Old Trekkers will be ready for some good old country cooking after checking out New Life and New Civilizations. Hey Trekkers, by the way, happy Star Trek Day!
Happy Star Trek
Belated
Day.
At least.
Belated.
Stay tuned as the Retro Trekkers bring you the final frontier fun leading up to the big 60th anniversary. Keep on trekking! Previously on Strange New Worlds Season 3. Ow! A Gorn gnawed off part of my hand! Crap! The captain's main squeeze now has Gorn blood in her veins. Trelane, it's time to come home now. No, I don't wanna. The Klingon zombies are coming to get you, Barbara. Let's have a murder mystery on this nifty new holodeck. Through the lens of time, looking at artifacts while the nurse's eyes are fried. The flying tadpole inmates are itching to break out of their prison. Look sharp. That plot point will be important later. Scavengers are picking apart the USS Farragut. Break out the old rotary phones. What is Starfleet? If you don't know after 59 years, you never will. Riddle me this, Batman. What episode is even worse than Spock's brain? Well, 4.5 Vulcans, of course. We are the Metrons. Dum 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 dum. It's dinner party time once again in Captain Pike's quarters. And it's time to prank a newbie. Scotty is tricked into wearing his dress uniform to the shindig, kilt included. Bagpipes, optional. Everyone is celebrating Marie Batel's promotion. All are eating, drinking, and being merry. Until the subject changes to Corby, who's visiting Skygoan. This is a strange new world tethered to the Vesda with its floating pyramids. Remember that evil entity? The one that burned out poor Nurse Gamble's eyeballs and possessed him? While Scotty is tinkering on the sickbay transporter, he detects the remnants of a weird biopattern lingering in the buffer. Through some quick exposition, we learn that the malevolent entity from the distant penal colony on Vadia 9 was lurking inside the Enterprise computer. Now the entity is hitched a ride on something called ley lines to possess the kindly folk on Skygoan. Oh, set a course, Ortegas. Warp factor, haul ass. On Skygoan, Evil Gamble lives again. Well, sort of. But he now sports a really cool mask, highlighting those burnt-out eye sockets of his. Possessed Gamble has achieved god status. He thinks his missing eyeballs make a real fashion statement, so he puts a spell on the local townsfolk. They all gouge out their own eyes. Well, it was either Gamble's spell or everyone just left a screening of Star Trek Section 31. Pike sends down an undercover landing party. They find the mystery portal back to the prison planet, but it's too heavily guarded. M'Benga and Una create a distraction, and Lon breaks out a double-handed Vulcan nerve pinch on the inept keepers of the gate. Chapel is jealous that Spock taught her the trick, and not her. Eat your heart out, Chapel. Finally, they find a weird Stargate. Wait a minute, isn't that another sci-fi show? Anyway, the doorway is covered in ancient carvings, some of which is written in Swahili. That part tells the tale of M'Benga killing on self-defense as a kid. Well, there's some foreshadowing for you. Evil Gamble appears, and in true mustache-twirling glee, reveals his evil plan. He plans to use the portal to bring his fellow prisoners to this world and possess its population. Pelea's voice becomes even more gravelly as she warns,
The sky would rain demons.
well, that would suck. The fates of M'Benga and the evil former nurse seem intertwined. The portal scans the odd couple. Evil Gamble pulls the dizzy dock through, and the door slams shut behind them. Surprise! They appear back at the prison on Vadia 9. Gamble takes out his frustrations on the statue that serves as warden and jailer. The eyeless former ensign attacks the statue. And then, simultaneously, back on the Enterprise, Batel collapses during one of her workouts. And look! Unlike Evil Gamble, she still has her eyes, but not only that, but they're glowing. Where's Gary Mitchell when you need him? Sweetie, we have to break up. It's not you, it's me. I have to fulfill my destiny to be the new warden of the prison. I have bits and pieces of a whole lot of species in my DNA now, so it's up to me to prevent the ultimate jailbreak. Well, you're not beaming down without me, baby. Marie knows that she is not just facing felons committing evil acts, she is to combat the embodiment of evil itself. The brave captain has survived gourd impregnation and is now eager to accept her ultimate fate to contain and guard the prisoners on Vadia 9 for all time. Marie and Pike find the portal, but how will they use it to transport to the prison planet? Well, Spock has a plan. He'll mind meld with James Kirk, who has brought the repaired Farragut to lend a hand. Through the mind meld, the two will fire phasers with perfect synchronicity to open up the portal down below. Plus, Spock gets to learn some juicy tidbits of Kirk's youthful indiscretions. Bonus! The Kirk and Spock bromance begins. Phasers have fired. Actually, wouldn't using the deflector dishes have made more sense, rather than using a deadly weapon that might have destroyed the portal accidentally? Oh well. The plan works. The door is opened. Batel and Spike step into the portal and find themselves instantly teleported to Vadia 9. Marie is ready to rumble, and her eyes begin to glow again. But before Pike loses his fiancée forever, Marie gives him a gift. Just like Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter in Raising Arizona, Pike gets to enjoy a lengthy fantasy scenario of his future life with his true love. We're now in Montana. Pike and wifey Marie are celebrating their second anniversary. She gives him an apron. That's cute. There's a knock at the door. They move further into the future. Their young daughter and puppy are playing in the living room. Another knock at the door. Another jump further into the future. Their daughter has brought home her boyfriend, the son of Admiral Robert April. They announce their engagement. Another knock at the door. Still further into the future. Pike has somehow avoided getting confined to his beeping wheelchair, so now all bets are off. Another knock. Another time jump. Marie is in her deathbed. A final knock on the door. Marie urges Christopher to answer it. He does so reluctantly. Oh no! It's Evil Gamble. Well, the lesson here? If a possessed evil former ensign comes a-knockin', just ignore it. In a heartbreaking moment, Marie tells Chris that they both needed to see their life that might have been. But now, it's time to get down to the business of defeating the vile criminals and their leader. Now armed with the sweet memories of a lifetime of love, Marie is ready to rock and roll. The flying tadpole prisoners have temporarily broken free of their jail cells, swirling around within the Temple of Gloom. Well, enjoy your freedom while you can, you slugs. Marie easily shoves the demons back into their holding cell. Evil Gamble is torn limb from limb. Rest in peace, Ensign. Her first duty now completed, Marie finishes her transformation into the Beholder, where she will fight the good fight for eternity. Season 3 lengthy epilogue time. Pike and crew cope with the loss of Marie, who saved the people of Skygoan. Corby will stay there to learn more about the natives. He and Chapel agree to resume their long-distance relationship. Not sure how that's going to work out. Kirk whips Spock in the first of many games of 3D chess, but the Vulcan takes it in stride. After all, he now knows all of his future captain's secrets. The beginning of a beautiful friendship. Next, Spock walks off with La'an, Kirk's crush. Jeez, first Uhura in the Kelvin universe, now La'an. Oh well. Sam gives his brother a consolation drink. Speaking of consolation drinks, Una tosses one back with Pike in his quarters. He's not ready to talk about losing the love of his life. Not just yet. But stay tuned. We are reassured to find that Pike is on the fast track to recovery, as we eavesdrop on his thought monologue. No one we have ever loved is truly gone. So gradually, life returns to normal. As normal as it gets on Starship with the landing party turning into robotic Vulcans, the rest of the crew breaking out in song and dance, and other outer space shenanigans yet to come. So let's settle in for some good vittles at the Trekker Barrel. But don't you dare update the logo or remodel the mess hall. So the spirit of Star Trek begins anew. The crew is chomping at the bit to hit the road. Roger Corby has provided a laundry list of strange new worlds to explore, enough for another 5-year mission. So what are we waiting for? Ortega's put the pedal to the metal. So ends Season 3 of Strange New Worlds. Time to meet up with more new life and new civilizations. Season 4 beckons. Time for bold new voyages, serious sci-fi action, compelling, thought-provoking concepts. And puppets? Oh well. I'm sure the other 9 episodes in Season 4 will be really, really great. No, really. Hit it.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's talk about it in the segment we call Down and Dirty. Let's get down and dirty. Let's discuss episode 10, New Life Forms, New Civilizations, and feel free to also sum up season 3 because we are not doing any more episodes.
Well, I want to throw it to Eric here in just a moment, but I just want to point out that if you notice the little cartoon kids in the lower left of that last frame, that I didn't make that up. That is a new Star Trek show which got almost no announcement or marketing at all.
Yeah, let me
If you can bring that back. There is a new show on Nickelodeon called Star Trek Scouts, which is geared for preschool kids. I watched the one episode. They're like 5 minutes long, but the first one is about a runaway meatball in space, and I swear it looks like a gigantic turd in space. So it's on YouTube. Find it.
But an original story.
A meatball in space.
Okay, meatball in space.
So does the little baby Vulcan control his emotions and it takes a great toll on him?
Well, again, I've seen one 5-minute episode, so it's kind of hard to tell. The captain there in the middle has a little dog, and the dog wants to play fetch while they're trying to fight the meatball. So it's pretty suspenseful.
It sounds awesome, actually.
Check it out, Eric. Go check it out. Star Trek Scouts.
Oh my God. Let's talk about this episode. There's a whole huge resolution to a lot of things here. And that mostly goes with Battelle being very heroic and sacrificing herself to fight this eternal battle. Where have we ever seen or heard of that happening in Star Trek? What did you think about that, Kramer? How did you feel about this resolution to the Battelle story?
God. All right. Can we just agree, since we're sort of at the end here?
Yes.
Can we sort of agree that this was really one of the biggest? This is really a terribly misnamed series overall. Strange New Worlds, because nothing strange, nothing new. Sort of a rehash of everything. But as convoluted as this story was, wow. At least it felt original to this series. It's the first story that I've seen that isn't them chasing old Star Trek or rehashing stuff that we've all seen, or stealing from other movies and other shows. Yeah. So this feels like it felt like an original idea. The execution, I didn't feel like it was, I sort of felt okay about this episode until I heard the beats. And then I just found myself going, yeah, what?
I know. I burst your bubble, Eric. I'm sorry.
like all through the beats. I was like, yeah, what?
It was a trip, we took a ride.
Like listen, I'll go with it. Fine. I mean, I know that they wanted a big story to sort of wrap this up, but it really, to me, it just reaffirmed that Pike is really one of the worst captains in Starfleet.
Oh my God.
And honestly, who would date that guy?
That's a weird question, but it must be asked. Like
I did not get that relationship at all throughout the series. Him and her.
She seemed irritated by him a lot more than a girlfriend should.
Yeah, it just, the whole thing, like he's so mopey. Like, I will forever remember him as the captain that sits in the captain's chair and does this.
Well, and he lets it interfere with his duties a lot too, and that's what's really.
I'll tell you what though. There was a moment for me that could have that really could have saved it. That for me was, and it was at the end when they have the scotch and it's him and number one, and oh my God, how much do I love number one?
Yeah,
I love that actress. I love that character. I just love the way she plays it.
Good season for her.
But the two of them are there and they have the scotch, and he has this, I can't even remember the line now. I'm not now. Yes, but not now. Something like that. Whatever.
Yeah. Ready to talk about it.
Which the first thing I thought of was City on the Edge of Forever at the end with Kirk. It's the Enterprise. Let's get the hell out of here. And I thought, fucking great.
Yeah.
Let him live with that.
Yeah.
Instead, we get pouty, sad little Pike coming back up to the bridge to sit in his chair.
Just a broken man. Just
Does this guy know he's a captain? He had this great moment in the cabin. Just this great moment. The not now, and the two of them just sort of sitting in silence. Fucking awesome. But does this guy know he's a captain? If you're coming onto that bridge, right? It's even if in the elevator you're like when those doors open, it's like, all right, where are we? Where are we going? Hit it.
I find it ironic that the guy who is our CPO on this show, the guy who shares the hosting duties with us, makes a better captain than the captain of the Enterprise.
Come on, man. All those guys, everybody on the bridge, he comes walking in. Everybody on the bridge is looking at each other like, holy shit, is he okay? Is he all right? Is he going to be okay?
It's true. Oh my God, it's so true. I understand that they want to carry a lot of emotional weight to the things that happen on this show. That's okay.
And they gave it to him in his cabin. Everywhere else, he's got to be a captain.
I mean,
right? Am I wrong?
We talk about this a lot, and it never goes away, which is Jeffrey Hunter is beating himself up in Menagerie / The Cage. He's beating himself up, but he's still the captain. He's still on the balls of his feet, ready to go.
Yeah.
He's not crumpling in the chair. He's not a broken boyfriend.
He's not at the front of the bridge when the shit hits the fan going.
Well,
anybody?
We talk about
Christ,
Jeffrey
number
Hunter
one
quite a
is
bit.
on that ship. Thank Christ, number one is on that ship.
Right.
Yeah, we talked quite a bit about Jeffrey Hunter being the better personification of Pike. How about Cisco in the first episode of DS9? He was going through hell and he did his job.
What an amazing example. And, as much as people will say this or that about Avery Brooks, like he carried it and he was doing his job. There were so many moments where he was just like, okay, I have to still do this job. And it's an impossible job. But and again, I don't know if it's like a collaboration with the producers and Anson Mount, where Anson Mount's like, come on, let me show a lot of emotions. I don't want to be this flinty, tough guy all the time. Let me show how these things hurt me in every episode and every scene.
In every scene. But he
doesn't that fit the modern audience as we keep hearing about? And I do agree with Eric on one important point too. I'll put it another way. This episode and the one just prior, good way to end the season in the sense that they both feel like Star Trek. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Good point. In this one, I also agree with Eric that it is an original concept. It doesn't harken. The only exception I'll take to that is we did get a lengthy fantasy life depicted a la The Inner Light. That was very reminiscent to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which was deliberate. But also, and I don't know how they figured, they did figure out what order these episodes were going in. I mean, honestly, we end the last one, Terrarium, and the all-powerful, godlike being, what are those aliens called again, Joe? On Terrarium.
The Metrons.
Metrons.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me for a second. Thank you, Eric.
Where
I'm the one that actually pulled one out? Holy crap. We must be at the end of this thing.
Running on fumes, folks. Running on fumes. The Metron says to Ortegas, I will let you keep this memory. That's our gift to you. And then in this one, it's like, you now have a memory. It's my gift to you. I mean, that's nice. Like, we've already done it, like last week, but that's great. Thank you.
Right.
Well, I think I could be wrong because you guys are in the industry and not I, but I would think that filming episodes out of order of broadcast is kind of a product of, the 60s and 70s, not so much now because you got 10 episodes with continuing story threads. They're not going to randomly shuffle them about, I would think.
I have to agree with that. I mean, it's a plot device, but these are carefully written episodes, carefully pieced together. You're not getting a lot of bottle episodes in this show. It's all a continuous serial as it goes along. And I say that in the most respectful way possible. I mean, I'm okay with the continuity of one episode to the other, but to have the, there will be a memory and it will be a gift. And as you point out, Joe, one of the greatest episodes of Star Trek ever, The Inner Light, is the, I lived a lifetime in a minute or however long it is, a very short amount of time. Okay. That's an interesting thing to borrow from yourself. But
and by the way, am I the only one that thought that cabin looked like Kirk's cabin in the Nexus?
I'm not sure I see much of a resemblance. It's bigger, certainly.
With the kitchen, with the windows, and the whole. All it was missing was the staircase going upstairs. But that's the first thing I thought of when I was like, motherfucker, did fucking Kirk bought this off Pike?
Could be. I was hoping. By the way, John, I was hoping that in your selection for the music and the beats, then when we got to the Raising Arizona part, we would have found the music goes. Da, 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 da. That'd been awesome.
Next time, tell me.
Okay.
Next time, tell me. I'll take some time. I'll put it together for you. Oh my gracious me! All right. Well, let's talk about how you felt about the Battelle story. I do want to wrap that one up because it's done. It's done. There is no more Battelle. Captain Battelle has been handled and settled and
with the world's biggest exclamation mark. I mean, you know, if I kind of wish the relationship had lived up to the finish. There's something about, and it came incredibly easy. This self-sacrifice for eternity, like it all sort of, and it all happened in like one speech in sickbay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's this, there's that, there's it. Well, I'm this. I have to go. Like, holy shit. Like, okay.
It felt to me so much like a I'm going to try not to make this as nasty as I can make it. It felt to me like a Disney Marvel. She's a superhero now.
Yeah.
She's the girl with kaleidoscope eyes. She has all these powers because she's been hybridized multiple times. Oh my God.
And
why did you let that happen?
And like everything else in this show, all the men can do is just get in the way.
Don, are you implying that Battelle was gangbanged by all these species? What are you saying? What?
I mean, it's a real convoluted way to get to where they wanted.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
I agreed. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Wouldn't it have been easier to just like pass the baton off or something? Like, that's an even greater sacrifice. Like the whole space-time continuum, like front is back and forward motion is reverse and the past is like, oh Jesus Christ. Like okay.
I wanna know, okay, here's the thing. Like, I actually know what ley lines are. Like they're a really cool part of the mythology of the world.
Yes,
and
go to Sedona.
Sam Kirk provides valuable information once again about ley lines. Now, I'd always heard about them relating to the globe, relating to the actual planet, not extending off into space. But then I thought, well, maybe that's how Gary 7 gets around. Maybe the personal transporter technology that he uses.
Interesting. Interesting. That took me a beat. Sorry. Now I know who we're talking about. Right.
Gary 7 from Assignment Earth. Yeah. I mean, maybe, sure. Although, as Joe points out, Stargate is a different show. different franchise, and it would be not great of them to borrow from them. But there's all this like super bad guy and then super good guy has to come up and okay, that's here. I'm going to come back to what you guys have said already. It's Star Trek. That felt Star Trek to me. Like Gideon fighting the antimatter Gideon forever. That's a very Star Trek-y thing. She becomes the beholder. Okay. All right, fine. I just didn't want Pike to be a boyfriend anymore.
Oh my God.
Well, you know what? I will say this, guys, if I may.
Listen to me. I'm
now,
like a
now that,
14-year-old girl. Oh my God,
Maria,
you're so right. Oh my God, right?
Now that Maria is totally transformed into her new existence, I mean, with those glowy peepers of hers, I mean, she does appreciate all things pretty, and we all know that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So,
he did his own ba-dum-bum.
Of course. Well, who's going to do it for me?
I love the idea of that kind of self-sacrifice. I'm like, did we really have to, did we really have to tie like 15 different fisherman's knots to like get to that place? Like, isn't there an easier way to get there than listen, if you have to spend 10 minutes in sick bay talking about it, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I just thought there was an easier way to get there.
I mean,
I see that, but on the other hand,
maybe a more interesting way to get there.
Well, I think that's what we're both getting at, Eric, is because yes, that part was convoluted and a little strung out, drawn out. But on the other hand, the ultimate resolution is so quick. I really think we could have sacrificed a few minutes of the almost 10-minute long fantasy life to devote more to the actual final battle.
I just thought of that as being fan service to all of the people who absolutely loved this relationship and they wanted to see what it looked like and felt like all the way to the end.
Names of people.
I agree. Could that number of people fill an elevator? Could that number of people make a line at an ATM? Like, how many people is that? I say not many, but hey, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe there's a whole cute fandom to it that absolutely wanted to see that happen.
Here's the thing that hit me, and this is all about this sort of the future is fixed, this sort of thing. In that little fantasy, Pike is like, they called me up.
Right.
You know where this goes. And she's like, well, it'll just be different when you come home. I'm like, don't fucking go. Don't go.
Well,
tell somebody that the baffle is going to fucking explode and stay home with your kid.
There's there was an inevitability to his fate of being in that explosion and being in the wheelchair and the beep. Is that correct, Joe? Hadn't they put that into the story that this must happen? What's her name must die.
Yes, it was there, but I will add on Eric's point in that this part of the reason for that part of that fantasy was that we're giving the first seeds of maybe this is reversible, maybe it doesn't have to happen that way. Well, I mean, Eric, he felt he had to go because lives would be lost otherwise.
Shows up at the door fine.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing that it has to happen to save the universe to blah 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 blah. But okay.
But
I'm telling you,
I will say that the one thing I did enjoy, we're talking about the resolution of the Battelle story. I mean, I never thought personally that it was going to her turning into the Gorn that attacks Kirk later. I never thought that. It was fun to like that, but so I mean, at least they subverted some expectations and came up with this, which I do appreciate. One thing I don't appreciate, I'm sure that the Vulcan captain of the Farragut also doesn't appreciate. Why do they only talk to Kirk on that ship? The ship has a captain.
I think they kind of cover that where it's like his particular Vulcan captain is really grumpy and not social. And she's perfectly happy to send the pretty boy out.
Captain.
She has a job to do too, which includes communicating with the other ship's captain.
Well, yes, but the one thing that presents, which I like, is it's an extension of Enterprise, which is, and I'm going to put it mildly, there's a very different managerial style between the Earth members of the Federation and the Vulcan members of the Federation. So that's, I mean, I could actually see his captain going like, you talk to the Enterprise. You understand
the
that.
captain.
You talk to Pike.
A Vulcan would do that. Do you really think a Vulcan would be like, fuck it, you take the call?
Well, I mean, I make Joe do that all the time.
Yeah, what do you want?
you do the being nice stuff.
I mean, I just want to go back to this whole thing about if you've seen the future and you've seen what the alternative is if you live, why are you just stuck to those two futures?
Right.
If you know, like if you know what happens when, the baffle goes boom.
Right.
And you know what happens if you survive and why, can't you change the why?
The thing that they did not do, and honestly, I appreciate it, is in DS9 and then in Enterprise, and I don't know about Voyager, maybe you could tell me, Joe, there was always some time travel element where somebody would say, this has to happen. You are trapped. Nothing's going to change here. This has to happen. And that usually raises the stakes. We don't have that here. I absolutely agree with you. And that feels weird that the pressure that he's supposed to feel to meet this awful fate does not seem to be very heavy. Joe, is there something I'm missing?
No, I think you got summed it up. I don't recall anything specifically in Voyager along those lines. I mean, we did have the 2-part Year of Hell episode, which we might want to cover sometime in Retro Trekkers.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like they hit the reset button and everything's fine. So yeah, I mean, to me, it reminded me quite a bit of, I'm sure you guys have seen this at some point, the original ending for Terminator 2, where we actually see old lady Sarah with her grown son and granddaughter in the park because they just, avoided Judgment Day entirely. But of course they said, no more sequels if we do that.
Right.
So they went the other direction. So,
and go to hell into Hamilton.
So, I mean, does the Sarah Connor's philosophy of no fate apply? I guess we'll see. I think the bravest thing they could do is just let things happen as they need to happen.
Let's talk about some of the things that really might have bugged you about this one. My favorite was pointed out in the Beats by Joe, which is that these ultimate evil beings look like Slimer. They look like Slimer's skeleton from Ghostbusters. Like rotten Slimers. Like, okay, you made a different looking kind of alien. That's cool. Not a good one though.
You know what though? I'm gonna exercise Eric's prerogative that he gives us pretty much every week. I'm gonna do a little bit of writing on this one.
Okay.
I'm wondering if they're different beings that are just transformed into these nasty things while they're imprisoned. Because they do take possession of other people, of other souls, if allowed to.
I mean, just visually, I don't like them.
I tried.
I mean, that's the problem I have. Every once in a while there's something terrible on Star Trek. That's every once in a while one of the monsters looks really awful.
Well, plus in a season dominated by Gorn concepts, it was kind of a poor choice visually. I agree.
Another good point.
Yeah.
Did anyone really have a problem like I do with Captain Pike is the captain who has aprons? Now, don't get me wrong.
That's the least of what bugs me about that character.
Don't get me wrong.
In fact,
I have a
nothing would
couple of
make me
aprons.
happier than for him to have a new slogan on his little cooking apron every episode.
Kiss the Pike.
Mind meld this.
There was a moment with Mr. Scott doing an imitation of Carol Kane's character. And who's he doing it to? And they basically said, why did you make her sound like Dracula? And of course, I'm sitting there going, why did you make her sound like Dracula?
Well, I feel bad, a little bit bad making fun of her voice, but I couldn't help it. But I mean, Carol Kane is obviously, super talented, and we've loved her over the years, but she's an old woman now, and her voice is what it is. But man, it's just unpleasant.
I think she's one of those actors who's always put a certain affectation into her characters. I think that might be part of it. She lowered the register of her voice. If you see her in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt or Gotham, her voice, is higher. Yeah.
I mean, I dig her. I mean, I've always enjoyed her. I just think the character is wrong for this series is all.
I do think they say that there's a cuteness there, and I do like her as an actor, but
here though she's Guinan light, and
I just
I'm
think
just going to call her Commander Simca from now on.
Yeah, somebody is supposed to have that kind of life experience, like literally, how many fucking centuries?
Yeah, 5 millennia.
Yeah, I just
Apparently.
think you'd be a little more, or maybe that's what they do. That would be an interesting take too. Instead of getting wiser, the older you get, you just start spinning out of control. Like you have
Well,
so much life
Well,
experience,
we're in our
so much
60s and
stuff
we're doing it.
bouncing around in your head that you literally just start to lose it.
but that has been something that has been in TV shows for decades now, which is there's always the one character who has no relationship to reality. And it's not necessarily a good character. It's frequently some kind of monkey wrench character. I wouldn't say they were doing that with her, but she's wacky. She's wacky. And I'm just, it's I'll take Guinan in a heartbeat over, woo, wacky grandma.
Well, and as you know, guys, I mean, I resent the character on the level that they killed off Hammer, which to me was a very interesting character.
Why lose that character? That character was great.
There's no time where I ever went, oh, thank God Hammer is not on this show.
Oh, except, oh my God, they killed him off. Why? That was my reaction.
I have, that's one of those stories we won't hear for a long time. Why he's not a regular on the series, because they had something there. And I love Andorians.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you wouldn't keep an Andorian on your show.
And he was building great relationships, within like
with
really
Uhura,
good,
remember?
really good character.
Yeah, mentor to Uhura. That was great.
Any other half-inflated soccer balls you guys want to kick around now?
I will say one thing that really irked me a little bit, bothered me.
Yeah.
And that was Spock mind melding with Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't you think we've now jumped several adventures?
Yeah.
Like they know each other intimately now.
Yeah. Right.
And so that I'm like, what? Like, isn't like part of what that journey is through Star Trek is the two of them like sort of becoming friends and figuring each other out?
I saw a little discussion on this on social media, and they pointed it out too, and I thought it was interesting where they were saying, so it's Spock being able to look more into Kirk's mind, but does Kirk now know that Spock has a brother, a sister, that Spock,
well, I would think yes, right? Otherwise it's Spock kind of forcing himself on Kirk, if you know what I mean.
Well, he's done it before.
but Kirk obviously knows as well because of everything with Lon, right? Like, there is an intimacy now with Spock and Kirk that I'm like, dude, you've got, holy fuck, he's not even first officer on Kirk's ship yet.
I did not hate that they took that jump, and it did feel to me like this was supposed to be the series finale. Like, yeah. How did they get close? How did they know they wanted to serve together? Because they'd gone through this like psychically close thing. But Joe, you had a point you wanted to make, I think.
Oh, only that this doesn't disagree with Eric's point, but it may be slightly different take. I think there is now a emotional connection there without, that maybe accelerated their friendship a bit. I don't think it includes specifics about Spock's life per se. And again, we know continuity is out the window in this show, but if we're going to adhere to it, no, Kirk, of course, doesn't know about Cybok or Michael Burnham or any of the others until later, or never Michael Burnham. Right. So I guess there's that connection, but I think that the main point was for Spock to give Kirk, the ability to work in tandem with him to pilot the two ships.
I mean, I dug why it was done.
Yeah.
Like it was it was like that end of it was kind of cool. I just thought
It does raise questions
that's a
as
connection
to
that happens way too quickly.
I think we get a peek in Enterprise with through the various things that happened to Paul. I think we get a sense that there are different kinds of mind meld. If you think about Devil in the Dark, the mind meld he's doing, it's a difficult one because they're very different kinds of creatures, Spock and the Horta. But he's listening. He's able to listen. He's able to be communicated to. But there are, forced mind melds that some Vulcans will do.
Spock obviously knew about his indiscretions. I mean, how many drawers did Spock go through while he was in there? You know what I mean?
Well,
Ooh.
my assumption on that was that I have this thing in my head where James Kirk is a sex addict, and
Really?
Kirk is just like,
that's going out on a limb there, buddy. Oh, I don't know.
but Kirk is like, oh yeah, I got to pick up some milk and I got to iron my shirt, and oh my god, that green girl on De La 4, oh she was so hot. I got to put my sock drawer in order, and oh look at Una, man, she's a tall drink of water. I honestly think that there was a magazine flipping open and Spock was like, you did what on that planet?
Well, and I think it has a lot to do with too how subconsciously willing would Kirk need to be that maybe he's kind of an open person in some ways, and Spock just had to reach in and get it. I also believe that the mind melds can definitely be more or less one way. I go back to when Sarek mind melded with Picard. He basically said, here's all my garbage, Picard. Hold on to it until I get done with this job.
Right, my data dump.
Yeah.
Take all my files. But yeah, I mean, that's canon. That is part of mind meld, culture, I guess. Anything else we want to kick around and down and dirty?
I think we can move on, personally.
All right.
I think we've hammered it.
It's just some of the shorter segments now. Let's talk about your most valuable player. Now, I will give you the option. You can do your most valuable player for this episode. You can do the most valuable player for the season, or you could do both. Totally up to you. Joe, I'm going to make you go first.
Okay, I'm happy to do so. I think I'll just stick with the MVP for this episode. And obviously, as far as driving the episode's storyline, resolutions, and so forth, it's got to be Marie Battelle for me. I mean, she was the whole reason for the story, and the emotional aspects of the sacrifice she made to resign to her fate makes her the MVP in my book.
Makes sense. Eric, what do you got?
Yeah, I can't argue with that at all. I mean, without a doubt, like she was the whole episode. It's interesting though, an MVP for the series. I'm not sure I know where I'd go.
I have one, and it is someone I've never brought up before on the show, I don't think. But I will say, I absolutely agree with Battelle. I'm having a hard time finding him. The nurse.
Well, I mean, the name is Ensign Gamble.
Ensign Gamble.
Yeah.
Come on, Memory Alpha, get your crap in gear. You don't even have
Memory Alpha makes a point of not memorizing stupid names.
They're like, well, Cillian O'Murphy plays Roger Corby. Shut up. I don't want to hear about Corby. I freaking hate Corby. The actor playing Gamble really delivered. He's so young. I'm very impressed by his work. I was scared of this character.
And I'm gonna correct myself. I will pick an MVP for the season because this person was just a shining light in most of the episodes, and that's Lon.
Yeah,
Oh.
I would have leaned that way too.
Yeah.
Yes.
The most
I mean,
character development in a good way.
Yeah, honest to God, like, and by the way, the best character development, and
Yeah.
her as she started to peak. What I loved was it brought Spock back. Like,
Yes.
holy shit! Now
Yeah.
we have that. We finally have that character back. You know?
Yeah. Agreed.
And I did very much enjoy the her moment with Christine on the plane saying, so you're a little bothered that you didn't get to learn the milk French? Suck it or take it or whatever it is. Chapel.
I love that because it's also like, because Chapel, you were not the one.
Right.
La'an's the one.
Right.
And I'm gonna save this visual for another day, and Retro Trekkers most likely. But in addition to Eric's comparisons to Grey's Anatomy, that moment I'm going to put into squarely into Saved by the Bell territory. I think that fits very well.
Here is my pick for the season, and
Okay.
maybe at this point I should even make it for the series. At this point, I feel this character has done great work. He's actually been necessary, and that would be Sam Kirk.
Oh, interesting.
Dan Jeannotte playing this understated brother of the Star Trek hero, James Kirk, and I believe him. And I cannot tell you how many moments in the show I've actually gone, thank God they had this anthropologist. Like,
I really dig that character. I was so scared, like way early on. I'm like, oh God.
They probably could have used him more than Jim Kirk himself, in my opinion.
Yeah, actually, I agree with that. It was a nice moment. Him bringing Kirk the drink.
Yeah.
At
Nice
the
brother.
end, I liked it. You know who I wish it had been though? I wish it had been Scotty.
Yes,
That would have been a nice.
I wish Scotty would have brought him the drink and sat down.
Yes. Yeah, let's build those bridges, which have been built very well this season. I think, look, I think we have to say that this Jim Kirk is a Jim Kirk.
He's grown on me, definitely, Paul Wesley.
Yeah. No, I with the exception, like I'm gonna block that. I'm gonna block that whole other episode out of my head. But the Jim Kirk we've been getting, I really like. I have this fan fiction thing going on in my head where he just takes Scotty out everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
And he turns Scotty into like this hard drinking, but you know what I mean? Like I think he just corrupts Scotty in the best possible way.
I mean, that's what they've given us, and I love it. Because yes, Montgomery Scott in the original series is a fantastic character, great actor, just love him. But this guy needs to be turned into that, just like Kirk needs to be turned into Kirk. And for it to be this big brother kind of a thing, and this like big brother in a fraternity kind of a thing, I just love that idea.
Drinking buddies in the worst way. Like, oh God, how great would that be?
Well, they party pretty hard sometimes in the original series.
Yes, like that's.
There
I just want Kirk to turn him into that guy.
From the Trouble with Tribbles, there had to be a relationship between Kirk and Scott for him to be able to have that, like, and that's when you hit him. No, sir.
Yeah. No, sir.
Really? You didn't hit him when he insulted me. Oh, no, sir. We called the Enterprise a garbage scow. and there's Kirk like, really? He didn't fight for me? He fought. Okay.
No. Scotty, go study your technical manuals. Oh, thank God. That's what you want to do in the first place.
I mean, we've talked about it, and I think this was a great season for it. Getting together the characters that would eventually be those old scientists was well done. I really enjoyed all of that.
Well, we've got 16 episodes left of this series, so we'll see what they do with it.
it would be very interesting at this point for me. And I think we're all agreed that Paul Wesley doesn't suck.
No, he definitely grew on me this season.
Is he a Kirk to you now, Eric?
Yeah, like he redeemed himself. Like, honest to God, that one episode, I was just like, yeah, I was ready to stop doing this show. I was like, fuck it. Like, how dare you? Like, absolutely. I mean, look, you can obviously. I'm fine with all of. I was fine going to the USS Grey's Anatomy. I was whatever. But you fuck with Jim Kirk. You make him a coward. You make him unsure. You make him I'm going to go cry in my towel. Like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I always felt that the story to Jim Kirk was that he was always meant to be a captain.
Yes.
He wasn't going to settle for less. Sure, he's a first officer because that's how you climb up the ladder. But he's doing it because he's climbing up the ladder.
Right.
But I also love how Wesley sneaks in the little Shatnerisms. And there's one in this one after, I guess it's when they're playing chess, and he goes, Spock. And it's like, yeah, go ahead, do that. Like, he teases us with little tiny Shatnerisms, and I'm here for it. I like that.
I mean, it's a great persecutor to where no man has gone before at the very beginning. Kirk beats him at chess once again. Says, annoyed Spock?
Yeah. Right. Okay. We are, of course, deep into this episode, but hey, we've had a good time.
Yeah, it's our big finale.
Mr. Townsel, have you been able to scrape up any tidbits from
I got a few here that are pretty interesting, actually. My personal favorite is this, and it comes from a character I'm not crazy about, as you know, but Pelia. I think this is actually the second time this has happened. I'll quote her. Remind me to tell you about the time I spent with a time-traveling doctor once. Could that be Doctor Who?
Eric.
And apparently there have been several Trek references in Doctor Who as well. So is a crossover coming? I wouldn't mind.
We didn't cover it when we did the episode of they're in the giant space monster robot.
Yeah.
But I saw it later. I know you saw it later, Joe, where if you really looked hard inside the big metal space monster, just off one of the nacelles was the little blue police box of Doctor Who.
The little tardies.
The TARDIS.
Now it's
yeah. So
also from Pelia, she refers to Spock as Spocko at one point, which of course is his nickname in A Piece of the Action, which the three of us have covered previously.
I forgot that. Oh my God. How dare you?
Scotty's kilt and tartan, it matches the one he was seen wearing in TOS, Is There in Truth No Beauty? And later in The Savage Curtain when he had to dress up in full uniform.
Wow.
So that was kind of a nice little touch.
That's well done, wardrobe. Yeah.
Yes. And I will, because it's trivia, not something I necessarily agree with, because I hate it when they bring contemporary music to cap off an emotional episode. But the song playing as Una and Pike share a drink is Wait by the group M83. Okay, I said it, but why do they do that? To me, it's so cheesy.
Is it unique to this season? But they've done that a lot this season, where they've basically brought in this like licensed modern music. They've done it throughout the series, and this is not unique to Star Trek at all. I mean, they do it. It's just a way of they do it in contemporary storytelling, I suppose, but it just rings false to me. But then again, it doesn't ring more false than the contemporary jargon they all use. That's amazing. Oh, that's cool. It's not good at that. It's funny because I think I've mentioned this before as a fan of Stargate. they, as Stargate got more emo, they did this a lot.
Mm.
And there would be like these great songs. But I also wonder if it's one of these things where Paramount's like, look, we've got a music division. We got to sell some music here. Give us a break.
Yeah, coming soon, the soundtrack.
I mean, they had Wake Me Up Before You Go in the Wedding Bell Blues.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's, oh boy.
Who knew Wham would still be popular in the 23rd century?
Well, I guess a good wedding song is a good wedding song. So that's it for tidbits, Mr. Townsel.
I think that's enough.
Then we've come to the point of this show, and I would dare say this series, where it really must be asked.
What have we learned? What have we learned? What have we learned?
What have we learned? Mr. Kramer, would you like to go first?
For the series or this episode? For the series?
How about for the series? What have we learned?
For the series, I said it on the last show. Evidently, the universe is only as big as the San Fernando Valley in LA, because they keep running into all the same aliens.
Right. Oh, but do you feel maybe there's a what have we learned about this particular episode as well?
About this particular episode is oh man, this particular episode, I would I got nothing.
Joe, I'll give you a choice: episode or series or both. What have we learned?
I'm going to go with all three, series, season, and episode. And it's this week, for the most part, last week too, various episodes throughout the series, I have learned that strong, compelling, and memorable Star Trek is possible if they could just do some of the crap, goofy gimmick shit. They have a time-honored classic here. So hopefully, I mean, I know we got the puppets coming. Ugh.
Oh boy.
But maybe that'll be the exception next season. They've only got 16 left. Let's make them count. And you know, I was struggling to remember the title of one of my favorites of this series. I looked it up. Let Us Rise Above the Suffering. That's close enough. That's one about where they basically use the kid as a sacrificial lamb to, fuel their society.
Yeah.
That is not that I want the kid to suffer, but that is compelling, thought-provoking Star Trek. We need more of that, and I've learned that we can get it if they'll give it to us. So that's my lesson for the day.
And I would like to just jump on both of what you guys have said and just talk about this series and the season, where it is. This is a series that is so incredibly knowledgeable that it's a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
They keep doing TV show stuff. And that is, I think, for us old guys, I never got, there were little winsome, winking, humorous moments in any of the series. But this one is particular, like, we're going to do the musical episode. Then we're going to do the puppet episode. Then we've got the wacky wedding episode. It's like, you're on a TV show when you're doing all that crap. You're not telling us an epic story at all. And
wink, wink at the fourth wall, come on.
Yeah, over and over. But hey, okay, let me ask you this. We're at the end of the third season. And I let me just ask, Eric Kramer, is this Star Trek?
Well, in name, yeah.
I've seen it. The name's in the title. I've seen it too.
Now look again. It's like I always sound like such an asshole. I really do cheer for this show. Yeah. I really do. I like everybody on it. I maybe I am just that old guy that is just sort of yearning for, the series that, I don't know, tried harder and didn't rely on, CGI and gimmicks. And it's like, and I get tired of everybody wanting to be Ryan Reynolds.
Ouch.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I get tired of that. I get really tired of that banter. And I've said this a million times. You know who does Ryan Reynolds really well? Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
I love I love Ryan Reynolds. I love everything he does. But it's like there is this whole, it's like, oh, we need to be loose. We need to be quirky. You need to tell a really good story.
Right.
That's what you need to do.
Personally, I'm looking forward to the Dead Pike character with Ryan Reynolds.
Dead Pike. This is the man who makes Townsel's. No, this is the man who makes the beats. That's a beat right there, folks. Dead
Well,
Pike.
like I said, throw away silly gags. We'll usually find their ways into the beats at some point. So watch out for that. And if I may, John, I'm going to offer my answer to that question as well. When this show is Star Trek, it really is Star Trek.
Yeah.
And it's hit some really big highs over the course of its first 3 seasons. When it's not, it's very evident that it's not. So generally, it is
more
Trek,
not
all the time, not consistently.
Yeah. I feel like they are constantly trying to break the wall there. And that to me is like, why? Why? You already had a great world. You didn't have to expand it. I mean, look, new fans will come, but I don't understand these fans you're trying to bring in. I don't think they exist. But
Well, and you know what? This show, especially 10 episodes a year or longer, I think I said this before. You've got an open format here. It doesn't have to fit in an hour with commercials.
Right.
Maybe on Canadian TV, but that's it. And play with it a little bit. If a story warrants an hour and a half running time, like a mini movie, do it.
yeah.
Or if it needs to be shorter, then do that too.
Yeah. I mean, if you got to cut a 90-minute into 2 45s, go for it. That's television. You can do that.
And just understand you have a chance to, my God, you have a chance to create a universe, for crying out loud.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, there's so much more to what we've
There is
already
so
seen.
much. There are so many ways to push this show that can be new and different and unique. That just take the reins off and go.
Yeah.
Well, in the first season was the most Star. If you ask me this question at the end of season 1, I would say absolutely this is Star Trek.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little more hesitant, and I have to offer a disclaimer because of the ratio of gimmicks versus straight Star Trek storytelling. Season one goofy episode of the 10, one that was Spock and Muck, and that wasn't even horribly goofy. It just wasn't, whatever. Get back to the good stuff.
Right. Right. Well, it has been an experience going through these episodes in season 3, but it's also been an absolute pleasure because of I get the chance to work with you two gentlemen, and we've been able to have a lot of fun with something that, let's face it, Eric said it earlier, I would have walked away from this series a long time ago.
I'm going to call Eric out on one thing before we adjourn. In that,
come on,
here we go, buddy.
Eric are gonna get their way tonight.
Eric does cheer for this show, except one time privately with John and me, he couldn't help himself. He went back and watched the after credit scene for 4.5 Vulcans.
Oh God,
this man was fit to be tied.
Oh my God. That scene was so wrong on so many levels, and so I felt bad for Patton. I felt bad for the two of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God,
I have not
to be a better way to do this.
John has still managed to avoid it, right, John?
Yeah, I'm not watching it. I am.
Don't do it.
Don't.
If they make it watch me and make me watch it in the home later, then okay, I'll watch it. But
There is a classic episode of The Outer Limits from the original series. Do not open till doomsday, where people are like looking in the box with a little peephole. Don't look in the box. Don't do it. If you he did it, now it's sucked into the box. So
I don't know this episode.
oh, it's
Really?
great. Yeah, that's the name of the episode. Do not open till doomsday.
All right, I'll look it up.
Check it out.
I thought
Hey,
I watched
maybe
it
it'll
all.
be something we can
Evidently not.
watch for our forthcoming miniseries.
we have a forthcoming show. It's called Subspace Cinema. It will be a watch-along show of old-time science fiction television, and there's a ton. There's just I've been collecting all these shows we can watch. There's so much. So we'll be doing that. It'll be super easy on our new schedules that we have coming up in our own lives. So yeah, if you're still watching this show right now, watch out for us to do that right here on Weber Internet Thingy. Speaking of which, gentlemen, we're going to the coming attractions. Any last words anybody wants to make?
A pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Live long and prosper. Retro Trekkers coming back real soon. Until then, we got some other great stuff coming your way on Thursdays.
All right, guys, I got a chopper to catch.
Oh, that's right. We made
We'll
you
see
get
ya.
the chopper.
LLAP, you beautiful, beautiful, sentient bastards.
Weber Internet Thingy. Weber Internet Thingy. Come on, check us out. Weber Internet Thingy. Weber Internet Thingy. Good times never in doubt. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Weber Internet Thingy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Come on and join the fun. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Weber Internet Thingy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We got the blues on the run. Get away from that big mean world and come have lots of dumb fun. Get away from that big mean world and come have lots of dumb fun. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Weber Internet Thingy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Come on and join the fun. JoeTownsel.com